It's time for Power Hour.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Friday afternoon Power Hour stream, where we actually have some development. Okay, Bitcoin is up against the supply line. Been plotted since we had validity of the anchor points, January 30th, right? Goes back to the inauguration day when Bitcoin made all-time highs. Give me a audio check. And the last time we tested that supply line was on the 2nd of April, and that was a huge fake out and reversal that took us $74,600. But since then, since after making our lowest daily candle close on the 8th, since November 7th, we got a bullish engulfing candle. Yesterday was just a red indecision candle, and today we're engulfing, which is really good. So it's not like we have some sort of accumulation signature, but we are trying to see if we have exhaustion. Okay, and exhaustion, there is an argument for it with lows on price that are, and then you have the slightly lower low on price. So you have like a complex wave structure possibly being painted. The supply line here breaking, I think, could have some serious consequence. It's really interesting to see Bitcoin's strength throughout a lot of this equity sell-off, throughout the dollar seeing multi-year lows. Support was broken yesterday. Bond yields spiked, but they're back down. Gold, all-time highs, going for the highest daily candle close, highest weekly candle close in human civilization and in the history of it. So you would think, right, if Bitcoin really was created as this alternative to the system that pretty much is being flipped upside down now for real, it's time to shine. So maybe some seller exhaustion could take us higher, but clearly there is still supply at this supply line because we're at it like as I'm speaking to you, and we've been at it for the past couple hours. It'd be nice to break, right? But it doesn't mean the trend reverses or anything like that. But we are starting to be able to see a structure. What an identifiable structure, right? It could be argued. We didn't have it. Now we kind of have the potential dragon argument. We just do. even if it failed. Okay. So again, I think your argument becomes stronger if they break it and then we sell off, either backtest the supply line as demand line or put in a higher low than the lowest low. And then that would give us the evidence that buyers are recapturing momentum on this chart. And I think it would strengthen the argument for 92K. That's just in an ideal world. They could break this and it runs to 92K immediately, or we test supply line like we are now and we just fail and we roll over again, because we've done it many times before at this point. So it's better than nothing. That's certain. Okay, because we just didn't really have much. You know, our last pieces of data were like, oh, okay, confirmation of distribution, rejecting supply line, rejecting 200-day moving average. All right, mark it down. But they marked it down. And then the buyers front ran the old all-time high from March of last year by $600. That was kind of like a target area, right? And just not too much demand somehow. And then Trump tweeted, and then everything ripped higher. Yesterday was just like a moment of a pause in the action, and today we're catching some volatility. I really like that. And you know, futures on less significant time scales, we got a couple structure. Well, we got kind of an accumulation structure. You won't believe it, man. I'll just show you real quick, and it could fail, right? All it takes is like one bad news event, and we're effed, man. We're so effed. So let me show you here. So I got all these old alerts here. I want you to see the 60-minute, which means nothing. Okay, 60-minute means nothing. It's just all we have, right? It's a time scale where we can go and see, oh, maybe there's something there. You got 1, 2, 3 at this point. Again, anything above 53.29, you're onto something. Okay, on S&P futures, which we're live right now. You got one valley, you got a second valley, you now have a third valley. What I like about the third valley is this price action correlation to 5,300. Okay, 5,300 is what? Is it a joke? Well, let's look left to see if it's a joke. Nope, not a joke. Old all-time highs from March, April last year. Swing high in May last year. This is a big deal. I think anything above this, the consequences could take it at 5,600. So again, unless like, oh, volatility was crazy, you know, everything was scary today. I mean, yield spikes, VIX spike, gold spike, DXY crashing-ish, you know, like foreign currencies paired against the US dollar, rallying really hard like the yen. All signs of dysfunction and market fear, okay? But despite all that noise, right, we can clearly see there is some sort of, well, sellers took the price April 6th down to 48.56. They rallied it to test resistance, and then another sell-off. Crap. Guess we're screwed. But no, the buyers came in before even testing that 4,800 level again. A higher low, an 88% retrace from this low to high. Wow, so a little bit more than before. Then a rally on the Trump crap, right? The Trump tweet. A higher high than the previous high. And then a sell-off. Oh, no, we might be, oh, well, dang, man, they're just defending this level now. So I know it sucks about gaps and the market opening and closing and all that and news. Yeah, it's a high risk situation, man. We have elevated volatility index, so you cannot, like, we're in a beggar's chooser situation here for like setups. It's very difficult, okay, because you're just one tweet away from the inverse of what looked like was going to happen happens. Okay, so you have to take everything. This whole market has to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt just because of that. Okay, so much uncertainty and fear. But if one was like, all right, I could just have a stop loss below 5,200. I don't think you would want to own it below this inflection point we just looked at, the zone, right? 5,270 to 5,300. You know, you're fine for upside to probably 5,800 above that. But below it, yeah, it's over. Like, we're going way lower. And even if we rallied to 5,800, we're still not out of the woods at all. It could just be a rally, buyer-inducing rally, and then we roll over later, and we're in a longer-term downtrend. We just don't know it yet. So it's just kind of like, finally we got some candles, enough candles to be able to look at something and say, hey, we're trying to decipher the psychology of buyers and sellers. That's what we're doing here. That's what we always try to do on the stream. It's a decent stream. It's okay, right? It's all right. Yep. Hold on. Coffee's too far away. I need this. Yeah, I hope you're having a good Friday where fears were high as F. 11 a.m., noon. I'll show you. But then everything completely like kind of reversed in a good way for us. So just keep that in mind, right? It's pretty interesting. It might just turn out to be bullcrap. And here's the thing. If it's a third valley resolution, it doesn't mean it's implied we're going higher. I mean, it could, right? The higher lows, but you get a structure like this and you get equal and opposite resolution. So you think about like 3 rising valleys, 3 falling peaks. After the third peak, the third valley, the probability of resolution, not it's going to go up next, the probability of resolution, meaning we could see a massive markdown and resolve all of this consolidation with a leg down, not a leg up. So you just got to think about the rule of 3. That's kind of what it does for us. It doesn't tell us, oh yeah, for sure we're going higher. It just means, wow, it could be time to conclude the consolidation. And that's where we are, all right? Increased probability on the 60-minute of resolution, whether it's 5,800 or 4,800. Yeah, it looks like it's possibly coming. The chop will conclude, at least on this time scale, seems like. And anything above 5,200, you're all right. But I don't think you want to be dealing with the S&P 500 below 5,200. I think that's kind of your line in the sand. Understand risk management. Stop losses are important, especially in these situations. But then you got the weekend, and then you got pre-market after hours trading. God, it's crazy. Okay, so just wanted a public service announcement on maybe what's going on. I don't know, right? No edge on the daily. But hey, daily, look, you can clearly see the levels are being defended for now. And if they are, then a gap fill at 55 seems like a very easy target if that was actually real. So your VIX that was at 47 or something at the highs.
Yay, headed to work the drive-through. Pay attention, chat. The goat is giving you gold. Thank you, Mitch.
Andrew 3, what's up, dude? Thank you for the 5. That's right. You tell your boss to watch his mouth and tell him to put the fries in the bag. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. So the VIX, yeah, saw a high of 46, has now dropped. It's down 5.85%. And we're just praying that the volatility begins to subside and we start dumping. That would be great. I mean, if we're starting to dump like that, you know Bitcoin's going higher. Equities are going to rally off their lows. And maybe it was all a bad dream. Just remember, we are in the 1 percentile area on this chart.
Mitch, can you give me some tire advice on this Stockel CRDF, Cardiff Oncology Oil? Thanks, bro. Happy Friday. God bless folded hands, light skin tone.
Tony, thank you for the light skin toned folding hands. Yeah, I believe on your side of the pond, prayers forbidden. Get arrested for that now. So, folded hands, light skin. Thank you. Yeah, so we want this thing to dump, and we're hoping it tops out. And I'm telling you, like, VIX does not stay elevated long unless we're in some sort of long, drawn out major crisis, and even then, it's not long. I mean, March 2020 to that was not even. Let's see let's just say February to April. It was like 50 days of craziness. Okay, 50 on COVID. And then 2008. It was a while, man. You know, like elevated. Yeah, they kept it elevated for 168 days. March 2009 was the bottom. That's when the equities market bottomed out. It was over. The sell-off was done forever at that point. I'm talking about we never saw those levels again. So it's very rare that we are elevated like this on the VIX. And we're just hoping it's going to be just another stupid blip. Stupid blip, right? That's what we want. But here's the thing, like, it's crazy because we're talking about Bitcoin. I was watching the VIX today in the mid 40s, and Bitcoin wasn't even budging. Bitcoin was like immune to the fear. This is the fear, the volatility index is the fear reader Okay, it's tracking fear, and BTC was unfazed. It was very impressive, and this is kind of an environment where Bitcoin should theoretically flourish in the coming year, with the tectonic plates of the financial markets shifting so much, right? Global trade, new alliances and all that being formed, whatever, the trade war with China, devaluation of currencies, right? The US dollar losing hegemony. This is where Bitcoin should do pretty well. It should not really suck. So it's gonna be put to the test, and at least today is doing something that's very endearing, and everyone should be paying attention to Bitcoin. It's been a long 3 months, man. Almost 3 months, right? What? 2 months, 3 weeks, whatever. A long quarter for Bitcoin since it topped out. But here we are with a little bit of seller exhaustion on the daily and up against a major breakout. Okay, so very real. Everyone wants to have their alerts set up on Bitcoin. Right here, we're at it. Huge deal. So that could have implications for other cryptos. Yeah, I can't. CRV, remember CRV? It was a joke. I can't believe it looks this good. How can it play out? It's playing out. I can't believe it. Got to look at Ethereum real quick. Up 3.23%. Still very disappointing. Not on breakout watch like Bitcoin. No exhaustion really. Maybe. No, not even really. It's like it's like bearish convergence. It just doesn't look good. There's just nothing about this is good. You know it's going to rally randomly. It doesn't have to have an edge. If Bitcoin breaks that supply line and starts running, this is going to run to 1728. It just is how it works. It's how the market works, man. So you flip your coin. You don't have to have an edge. Bitcoin breaks out. It's going to run higher. Great, but 1420 is the line in the sand. If you break that, it's pretty much you're cooked. Like you're very cooked on Ethereum. You're going to like $1,000. You lose another 25+% of your value breaking 1420. Good news is buyers defended it on the 7th and the 9th. And we have an active bullish engulfing candle for now, but it's just not strong. It's so weak. Bitcoin is engulfing right now. It's yesterday candle. If Ethereum was Bitcoin in performance, Ethereum would be like 1681, and it's doing nothing. It's just something's wrong. Bitcoin, world stage, all eyes on you. Ethereum, afterthought, joke. Okay, dude, let's post pictures of monkeys, and no one's gonna buy them because that was a fad. Sadly, I loved NFTs for their purest reasons. The non-speculative side of it was amazing. Nothing great about this, but hey, guess what? XRP though, different situation. We were discussing these yesterday. The recapturing of the level. Remember, hey man, now we just need to back test. Okay, they back tested yesterday. Today holding up 4.53%. You could have max upside potential if this is real, right? Because it's not about the breakdown itself, okay? It's about the follow through after the bearish breakdown. What was the data that we received when sellers captured prices below that level? What was an immediate 17% drawdown, but a crazy rally, and then another bearish backtest sell-off, and then the Trump tweet. Trump saved XRP. You don't even know how much he saved XRP. Like below 190, 196 is so much lower. But if they recapture it and then reconfirm it as support, that's a new piece of data. So we can no longer say you're completely screwed yet. You'd have to fall back below 190 to get back into scary territory on this. But a lot of work to be done. But this could be the beginning of something beautiful. All depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin can break the supply line right here. You look at it. Look where we are. Look above my head. You're at it. Great upside potential on XRP. I mean, it'd be max upside. Like anytime you're at a support, right? They recapture support, you retest it. And if you're entering here, your upside's like at least 255, 250. You can put in another lower high, and that'd be disappointing, and then roll over again, and then you probably aren't going to hold that next time. But this is just, right? It's data. It's showing you the data. It's here. It was really bad. It was scary, and now it's not so scary until we're back below 190, and everyone should have an alert set up below 190, because if you hear that Bad stuff's happening. Crackling. I'm probably too close to my microphone. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm better now, right? I'm probably better. Okay, sorry. Yeah, let me know if it's crackling still. Solana, unfortunately, no updates. It's up 7% almost. That's great. We're going to another bullish engulfing candle, but we really want to see it back above all these supports. But I do 1, 2, 3. Like maybe it's a rule of 3 thing going on. No divergence here. Maybe on the RSI a little bit. What you want, okay? If you're a Solana fan, or if you're like, hey, I want to take a shot on Solana, you need this. I'm just telling you, okay? Even this. That would be, inverse head and shoulders, spring back test, or spring and then spring back test at the same time. Momentum shift, evidence of accumulation, right? Because what's the recent piece of data? Oh, the lowest low of entire downtrend we've been in for 3 months. Lowest low. Okay, well, we need the most recent discernible event to be something good, something bullish. Oh, the first higher low we've seen in 3 months. Oh, recapturing a level, reconfirming it as support. It's good data. So you want this. Okay, we need this. We don't have it yet, but I think we probably will get it if if buyers are actually able to break the supply line and we get a nice run here. You're gonna recapture support. So a little bit of hopium coming back, man, after just terrible, right? But you're still not out of the woods. You're not like XRP right now. Okay, BNB is up 1.86%. They didn't let it get to 510. You're rallying. There's not much to look at here, right? It could run to 621, 638 at this point, right? If Bitcoin breaks resistance, that's certainly your target, but there's no real, right? You can't manage risk. XRP, you can kind of manage risk because easy to know where to get out, easy to know where the upside would be. But on this one, it's either 620, 630, or back to 500. Flip a coin in between two major levels. So, okay. Those are your big cryptos. And I'll tell you, there's some good stuff going on today. I got to show you the CRV stuff, man. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. Of 11.3, you can't effing believe it. Oh, look, and it's kind of like the Solana idea, the low, the lowest low, the high low, but in the spring and the back test of spring situation. This is what dreams are made of, and it may fall short at some point, but mother of God, 3 days of wonderful price action, and now we're at highest price we've seen since February 2nd. It's talking, like over 5 week highs on CRV. What I love about it is this inflection zone was violated just so the market participants could complete the sim shade. And I had it plotted like this before that was even happening. I'm like, I don't know, they get down there if they're going to hold it. And then, wow, they did it. And then it immediately recovered. And now you've got the spring back test and great price action, recapturing the 200 moving average, 87 cent target if it actually performs. Or you could say maybe 71. Here's a swing high. But you just got to be impressed with some joke coin no one cares about, just respecting the harmonic framework, respecting Richard Wyckoff, right? The spring and the back test of spring. Wonderful combination of variables that has now led to 5 week plus highs. Not too many that look so interesting like this, unfortunately. But there's some out there. Like VeChain, for instance. No one cares about VeChain, I know. But dude, I'll just tell you, this will happen sometimes, okay? The longer you watch wedges and you identify wedges, you can really see sometimes what happens is they'll break the wedge and then it'll just sell off. But when it sells off, it eventually comes down to test the old supply line as a demand line. And that's kind of what they did on the 7th. But at the same time of doing that, they also tested this major inflection zone where it's such a battleground where so many special things have happened here. It was a reversal in 2018. In 2020, it was a reversal. Became support, was recaptured. Look what they did when they recaptured it. It had a huge rally to 3.8 cents. Same, this is when it bottomed out, the M shape. Remember the bullish bat pattern, type 2 return stuff? Same level where if they held it long enough, had huge rally. So you're just starting to get to an interesting point on some of these, despite them being joke coins, us being in a crazy trade war, tariff war, uncertainty, high VIX, treasury bonds dumping, when they should be pumping, yield spiking, right? DXY dumping. In this crazy uncertain world, the technicals are starting to look really, really interesting on something like VeChain, something like CRV. Okay, so, and then you know what's also crazy? I saw this today. I almost lost my mind. I'm like, well, how are they doing this? How? Tron? Remember Tron Connect? It's like, oh, just go long now. Oh, just short, stop loss below 22.2 cents. Upside, I don't even know. It's crazy upside potential. Like they're reaccumulating, it looks like. Above 22.5 cents, right? Swing high, swing low. Tested. They recaptured it once, then they retested it once, then they retested it twice. So you have confirmation. Going for your highest daily candle close since the 8th of March. So like 1 month highs coming. And you just don't know what the upside would be Fibonacci, right? If it was to just start rallying here, very easy to target for a golden zone between 29.68 cents to 35.5 cents. This would be your target zone if Tron Connect was supposed to, if it was going to rally here. I mean, it's pretty much trade setup approved, right? Again, tight stop. You could even go tighter, 22.4 cents or something right below the level. It's a little tight, but working on a bullish engulfing candle. And there's good upside here, okay? So I'm just telling you, I can't believe it looks like this. Communist Chinese, money laundering. They're not going to let their boys, S-Coin, fall, I guess. What kind of freaking defense? That was like Great Wall of China, 22.5 cents. Nothing looks like this, like really nothing. It's kind of wild, okay? And you look at most and they're just kind of like, okay, they look like everything else. Nothing spectacular, nothing enticing. Okay, so that's just your crypto situation. Litecoin, it bounced. Remember, third target, the trade setup hits $66. We knew how big of a deal that was. Bids came in, yeah, because shorts cover. But also, some people are going to be taking longs at a level where there have been countless longs taken. So they're doing it again, getting some help on Bitcoin. We got 26 minutes until the closing bell on Wall Street. So well in the midst of power hour. It's 3:33 p.m. Eastern. Do you know where your crypto is? Do you know where your stock market is? Okay. So look at the spider real quick. Okay, switching gears from crypto, just letting you know, right? I mean, it's like, we don't have confirmation lows. We don't have any momentum shifting yet. Maybe on Tron, but nothing else. Not even on Bitcoin. Is your momentum shifting via technicals? But it's not about momentum shift. We are witnessing the exhaustion, seller exhaustion. The seller exhaustion first. You get your first impulses. Then you have big sell-offs, and then buyers come in, put in the higher low. Then we get the momentum shift, and then we rally, and then we valley again, and then all of a sudden we get the accumulation signature. So it's like a process, a bottoming process, and we're trying to witness the absolute beginning of what a bottom might look like. And it starts normally with bullish divergence, seller exhaustion. Okay. Here's your spider. Nice, going for bullish engulfing candle. That's good. I like it. And above 524, it's a big deal. It's just like futures we looked at, right? Anything above 524, you might be on deck for 564, or at least maybe a gap fill target. Yeah, up there. Not the worst day in the world at all. That's good. They filled the gaps, right? You had a 50% retrace from the 2020 low to high. Yeah, we used the 2022 low to the highest high, and we got virtually a 50% retrace. So, you know, again, it's just such a difficult market right now. When the volatility index is so high like this, you are more so at a casino. We're just trying to attempt to use technicals in an effed up market like this, and if You've been in the markets a long time. You understand how rare these situations are. They just never happen. Like they're just, oh yeah, this is historic. We're living through some history right now. That's cool. Is that divergence in the SPY? Certainly not, unfortunately, right? You made a low on price. You made a substantially lower low on price with way higher levels of negative momentum. It is bearish convergence. Okay, so it does not imply that there's a reversal coming. A low on price, a lower low on price, right? With lower levels of RSI, that is bearish convergence, right? The price and the oscillators are doing the exact same thing. Convergence, not divergence. Divergence would be when the price makes a low and the oscillator makes a low, and then the price makes a lower low and makes a higher low on the oscillator. It's not doing that, unfortunately. Doesn't mean it can't rally, though, okay? Okay, Dow Jones. High for the Dow Jones, man. Bullish engulfing candle in the midst of being painted. 23 minutes till it's confirmed. 23 minutes till it's confirmed to recapture some key levels. I mean, this is not some. This is a very real level. I think anything, if you close above 40,000, you're closing above a major inflection zone, okay? Where the consequences could lead you to 41,200 minimum, and then a gap fill 200-day moving average test at like 42.2. That's probably your upside if this is real, okay? Again, bearish convergence, but that's okay. It's extreme volatility. We can only monitor the levels, and we got good news on the Spider and the Dow Jones, at least today for now, right? Anything's possible in Power Hour. Anything's possible on the weekend, and stupid tweets come out, and China, you know, they stop selling us Tamagotchis. Oh my God, you know, we're back down on Monday, but for now, it's pretty good. I like that, above 40K. Psychological level too. NASDAQ. They're engulfing. They're trying to cover the previous candle's body, and they're trying to recapture 16,443. Another big technical level. So 3 of 3 right now. We know the Russell 2000. They already defended the 177 level or whatever and bounced off of it. But I would imagine that's, yeah. So that's good. No divergence. Yep. I think above 16,443, there is good upside potential, probably to like 17.9. Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, pretty much straight down. You could be doing a straight up thing again, and you still make a lower high and still roll over later after testing that. Okay, so it's interesting, man. Interesting stuff. IWM, you know, again, this 170 level was tested. They're holding it, and I'm the least interested in this one. This is the, you know, this is the market where, okay, 40% of the assets on the Russell 2000 don't make money quarterly. They always lose money. I'm not into that. So I look for the other 3. They perform better. And right now they're showing some pretty good technical stuff, at least today. All right, nice. Sitting sideways since the 4th. But above 170, you know, losing 170 is really, really bad. I don't even know. How do you do that? I guess you got 160 just below you too. So safety nets on the IWM. Gold real quick. Jesus chimes, dude. Exceeding the 2618 like it was nothing. Yeah, I get that. 3250 on deck. We almost saw it. We were very close to seeing 3250. Got to the highest price I've ever seen, 32.45, 48.5. But we do have an unfilled gap, right? People don't even understand. Like, they don't recognize that this could be an exhaustive gap. It is there. It is unfilled. This gap's gonna fill. Just letting you know. Great day today, but they pull it back, fill the gap. Maybe we'll run higher later. But man, that's some wild 3 days, isn't it? What the heck, man? From the open to maybe where it closes right here. Gold in 3 days up 8.18%. We're talking like a 17, $18 trillion market cap asset. The largest market cap asset in the world on a chart. I think Chinese real estate might be a little higher or something. I don't know. But talking about commodity. No, I don't. people would say the SPY is bear flagging. No, it did bear flag. It was identified on the stream, and then we crashed. Remember the bear flag? Bear pole, bear flag, and hit the measure move. And I think 60 minutes the only place where you have structure. And I'm telling you, you're on the third valley, so we could very well be resolving with a huge mark up or a huge mark down because of that third valley. But again, it's 60 minutes, so it's not a very significant time scale. Bitcoin is still just right there. I mean, are they going to do it? Or are we just going to roll over? We could. You could be. I mean, it is like one high, a second high, slightly higher high. They failed to see the supply line the first time. Second time they tested. You do not want to roll over here. You don't want to confirm it. Okay, confirm the lowest high of the downtrend here. That would be really bad. But let's be optimistic about that daily divergence maybe. But beautiful stuff on golds. Silver did not do the same, but it is definitely recovering. I mean, they're pushing this thing for a test of 32.29, 35.50. They need to recapture that. Otherwise, you make a lower high and then you roll over again. But yeah, nice recovery off the lows. Silver up off its lows. Shoot, man, 13+%. Like a $1.7 trillion market cap asset. Up 13% in a week of trading. So DXY, perhaps you've heard of it. US dollar index. Yeah, that didn't get right. It was potential. It caught no reaction. We were waiting. If there's a reaction, it's real. If it's not, if there's no reaction, it never was. It never will be. It was a never was, and it was never has been. Right? It just didn't catch bids, and that's fine. There's something fundamentally going on the DXY. It's not technical. So you've got foreign governments, right? Foreign actors that are offloading their US dollars, and they're trying to shore up and defend their own currencies of their own countries, Europe and China, Commonwealth, whatever. They're just selling. Okay, the yen spiked too. Every currency pair against the US dollar spiked. Well, look what we saw intraday, the lowest price since April of 2022. So over 3-year lows, taking out that low point last night from July 2023, but really taking out that $100 level. Excuse me. This is a big deal. 2015. You see it 2 times when that level was tested and reversed. You can see the target area was at least $97. Okay, so that's like kind of on deck now. We're kind of just waiting on that. And the demand line, if you go back, you see, look at the weekly, you can see this crazy uptrend we've been in since 2009. It is pretty beautiful. I mean, it was wild to see it test the supply line in 2022 and it reversed. Like, this was already plotted. It did that, and it was unreal. No confirmation or anything. There was distribution there up there. But yeah, all this time, right? Reminds me of Microsoft a little bit. They just, after that blow off top, after the highest high we had seen in 22 since 2002, bunch of failed attempts from buyers to rival it, and now we're rolling over to fresh lows. We're below the 200-week moving average, and we're really below the 200-week moving average pretty much for the first time since November 2021. And again, you got a date with this demand line coming up, and I don't think you want to lose that, because if you do, well, 91. Okay, so we got a lot going on here. All right, DXY, and then we can look at U.S. oil that has recovered a little bit today with risk assets, with everything, but still really controversial. $60, man. Like, not holding 60 equals 50 almost automatically, and they're trying to hold on. What did U.S. oil do a few days ago? Lowest price since January 2021. So we're talking over 4-year lows this week on U.S. oil. And I think you're just waiting for $50 target. But understand, they could rally this, and just think about it. They come up and test and fail and roll over later. Like, we could get a rally off this, because we commonly do. It's normally never straight line down. So you're just probably waiting on a little reflexive joke rally, and then you sell off later, because that's been the trend. You've been in a downtrend since this was identified. The bearish Gartley, 886 Gartley, it was crazy. I'm sorry, not Gartley, but it was like it wasn't a shark. It was just a W shape, informal W shape. Okay, lower low on the C point, 63% retrace on B, and then pretty much 886 on D. It was not a real shark at all. It was just a W. With that 886 though, that magic area, gotta love that. So been downtrending ever since then. Your lowest low, your lowest high, your lowest low, your lowest high. You get it. You're trending downward. So that's going to continue. So gold, oil, DXY yields. Look at the 30-year yield. It was crazy, and then it's not crazy anymore. They've dumped it. So it's like, oh, we're going to be all right. Going to be just fine, right? Yeah, I thought we took out the highs from a couple of days. Maybe we didn't. We got real close. We got all the way up to 4.987%. Still not breaking that January high. But man, elevated yields. This was one of the fastest spikes we've seen in a really long time. Yeah, make of this what you will. Maybe things normalize. Maybe it's just a bunch of fear right now. People are freaking out. Market doesn't know what to do. But, you know, China and the U.S. is only escalating as of today, right? I mean, Chinese government has increased tariffs on the U.S. Yesterday, U.S. increased tariffs on China. Tomorrow, we're going to probably retaliate. The U.S. is going to retaliate some way, whatever. At this point, it doesn't even matter. It's just good to see something like Bitcoin perform kind of okay with all this going on. Really. Let's see if this works. So this is Bitcoin to the US dollar paired against the spider. Wow. Old all-time high from 2021. So it's an inflection zone for sure. You can see the swing high reversal. Here's your zone. Okay, again, Bitcoin to the US dollar paired against the S&P 500 ETF. So what's happening? Well, seems like the buyers have begun to recapture the very important inflection points from 2021. You're testing the 200 moving average, and somehow the buyers are defending it. Really good, actually. It looked not good. You know, anything below 150, 149, oh my God, we could be going way lower. But they didn't let it. They didn't really let it go lower, did they? Crazy channel here too. I mean, it's acceleration too. I don't even think you can plot a channel here. Yeah, the demand line's steepening. Maybe they're trying to plot it like that or something. But it really is kind of more like this. Yeah, using a curved line here. That's really what you kind of got going on. Wow, man, we're looking okay. Above 157, which is exactly where the price of this asset's at. There's nothing here. Look left. I mean, you'll rival your high at 177, 183, but keep that in mind. All right, 83, 876. We have 10 minutes till the closing bell. That's why we're here, man. That's why I'm live. I'm live here early on a Friday, so we can stay up to date kind of on what's happening in these really uncertain historical times that are very temporary. Okay, they don't last. 83.9. I do like this. Okay, we're starting to try to breach here in the last minutes of power hour. Maybe we just have an alert. I don't know if the alerts will even work really well here, but 160 or something. Yeah, that's not gonna really. What did it say? Okay, yeah, probably gonna incorrect, but whatever. We'll try it out. Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a look at that real quick. We missed it. Bitcoin dominance, man. Bitcoin's the one. Okay, like yeah, altcoins are gonna do it, but look what's happening on Bitcoin dominance today. That's almost Ryzen 3 methods looking at. I mean, you're going for the highest. You're at the highs of the day right now, 0.89% up right now, and you're going for the highest daily candle close since February of 2021. Remember, there's nothing here till 70, so you're just waiting for 70% market cap dominance on Bitcoin. I mean, you're getting closer and closer to eclipsing that early February violent, scary crypto crash peak. It was 64.37% at the height of the mania and fear. We're just marching on up in a multi-year uptrend. Remember, it started with Wyckoff accumulation, started with a spring back test a couple times, and then a classic accumulation structure developed after that, 3 rising valleys, and then you were off to the top of the range and you broke it. Nice backup, falling wedge, too much demand, they couldn't even test it, and now you're just running again. It is incredible, and the stage is set for Bitcoin. The way everything's rolling, the way Trump has put his foot down and said, okay, the unsustainable debt, money printing, all that crap is changing now. We're done, because if we don't change it, the United States will collapse. Okay, it will collapse. What we're doing, and the entitlements we're giving out to millions of dollars to people that aren't not even born yet, people that are dead, and illegal migrants that cross the border immediately getting assistance. All that has to end. We can't do it. We will collapse in on ourselves. And many people around the world want that to happen. Okay, that's the goal. Cloward Piven strategy, right? Overwhelm the social services of the government, amass unsustainable debt until it ultimately collapses, and then the commies can come in and completely take over with their authoritarian whatever, their ideologues. Okay, no free speech, no guns, absolutely not. We can't, for your safety, we have to stop the Constitution now, because there are just far more greater things at hand, because society's collapsed, which they manufactured. Okay, Trump's stopping all that. Okay, the whole USAID, that was a slush fund. It was destroying the republic, and all republics around the world for that matter. It was doing it. That had to end. Okay, and with that ending, Bitcoin, here it is. It's been training for many years, since 08, since the last crisis, and holding up pretty effing well, I would declare. Okay. Chat, y'all are just being dead like usual. What, we got like 200 people here maybe? No, we got like 730 people watching. 174 likes, really? Can we get a like spike? Mother of God, if you're not gonna type, okay, you're just gonna leave me sitting here talking to myself, at least like the stream. My God, I'm not asking for anything, just a like at this point. I don't know, man. Just going live, you know, out of the goodness and kindness of my heart, just talking about markets. Could I have a like? Nah, dude. F that. Okay, here we are, right? Back on Bitcoin with 5 minutes till the daily close, weekly close on Wall Street. We still have another 4 hours to go on Bitcoin. Oh, there's some chat. I see y'all now. Well, there's proof that chat's real. Okay. Tony and Zeus and Cactus and Shane and Craig and Crypto Crazy, One Wheeler, Birdhouse, Real
Crazy
PG,
Week Man.
Trader Man.
Thanks for the analysis.
What's up, Jimmy, dude?
Is that a joint?
Thank you for the contribution, man. Yeah, it has been a crazy week. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, if you made money or didn't lose money this week, you win. Because I'm telling you, this type of craziness will subside and markets will return to more of a normal market, but it could take a little while longer. And we still don't really have any major structures on the index funds at all. Maybe the 60-minute, that's where it's starting to appear. But Bitcoin maybe has been in the development of a bullish dragon pattern for going on 3 months now, with the dragon head, the spine of the dragon, the first foot of the dragon, the hump of the dragon, the second foot of the dragon, with bullish divergence on the second foot. The bullish engulfing candle may be the signal, but as you can see, it is not a joke. The supply line is so effing real. We've been testing this supply line today for like 3 or 4 hours. It's real. Nick, thank you, dude. What's up, nameless nerds? When breadstream, when Bitcoin breaks supply line and we run to like 91.9, 92K, then we'll do a bread stream. If we see 92K, bread stream, okay? And call me out on it, remind me, okay? If it's like the day we hit 92K and I don't remember, be like, hey, remember you said bread stream? And be like, oh yeah, I'll turn on the bread, the bakery. We'll make some bread. Thanks, Terry. Hopefully they don't fake out this weekend. I mean, we haven't broken anything. We are just on breakout watch, okay? There's conditions, I mean, I wouldn't even say favorable for a breakout. We just do have some seller exhaustion, maybe on the daily. Some would say maybe not, but it does look like it, right? Here's a low on price, and here's a slightly lower low on price with like a discernible, you know, histogram island differential between 1 and 2. I mean, I think that's valid divergence, especially after the past couple of days, and now today with a positive histogram wick, like already, dang. And we got 4 hours and stuff, but we could be engulfing, bullish engulfing, going for the highest daily candle close on Bitcoin since the 4th. It's only the 11th, I know, but hey, man, better than nothing. First time you saw me live, I was a piece of bread. Dang, man. Surprised you're still watching, right? I figured when new people will watch me when I'm bread, they'd be like, okay, I'm never watching this again. US dollar tether looks like it's topping. Yeah, well, they look exhausted, right? You've hit like target areas. Yeah, this is a beautiful harmonic that had a type 2 return that had a really good run, and now you're just at profit taking levels. If this was a harmonic trader, right, like you'd think, okay, think of the high to low here, 78% retrace, the 88, these are like, yeah, you take profit on harmonic, like if you're longing harmonic framework, right, you're starting to take profit at 786s, 886s. That's aggressive targets. So you're an aggressive target. But the one thing is like, you're looking at a high, a sell-off, a slightly higher high, a sell-off, another higher high. It's like 3 peaks now, 3 of them working on a bearish engulfing candle, and the market participants are unable to really capture prices above 5.72. We discussed above 5.72, there is a ton of upside. You could be going like 6.8 to 7%, but they're not doing that, and it's coming off a really nice run. Just think about like this, okay? 1 and 2 and 3, all right? Think about that, and let's go to Stitch Fix just for the brain, okay? 1, 2, 3. It was, forget this scammy stuff. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it's like 1 attempt, second attempt, then third attempt. Then bearish divergence was developing, okay, throughout that consolidation. Nearing a top, right? Hitting resistance, nearing resistance. So again, on this one, we did officially hit the first target. Let me show you. So it could be the same thing. If you flip this over, maybe it's Bitcoin, right? It's like 1, 2, 3. And it was after like they started selling off and you started falling back into that big zone. Then I was like, okay, well, probably pretty easy to manage risk in this. We don't act like we know, right? We don't know, but we knew that the buyers were getting exhausted. We knew the rule of 3. It's like a 3 drives pattern. Barring that, you had to think sometimes out of the box. I just disregarded that, and I'm like, I see 1, 2, 3. So okay, downside would be very good downside with very little of losses taken if it failed, and it never did because the market kind of rolled over. But look, target 1 was hit. It was beautiful. Jesus chimes on Stitch Fix, hitting target a few days ago. You still haven't even hit target 2, which we know. They're right, short sellers cover, buyers come in. It's a support level. It's like why would it not? That's why it was a target level, because that's where it possibly could reverse, and it has reversed a little bit. And there it is. The stock market's closed. More Jesus chimes. Okay. So we could look at like Bitcoin almost like that in a little bit of a way, but you could say like maybe 1, 2, 3. It's not that great because like these are almost the same valleys. Okay, so with Wall Street closed, you just saw Bitcoin close at the supply line, no breakout, but breakout watch is still very real. 4-hour candle just closed on Bitcoin. It was the highest 4-hour candle close we have received since April 4th, and that's about it. What happened in the chat? Did you break out? I don't know. It was like a not break. It was like you closed at. You didn't close below it. You didn't close above it. You closed at it. Look how crazy that is. Of course, the controversy always has to be at its highest. Good God.
Stinks tip $25. Thanks for being here. TA respected on Fullrud? I know we're in the BTC show, but how are technicals looking on the Kraken chart? Thanks.
Oh, what's up, Jadings? Thanks for the 25, dude. Let me see here. Tony, did he requested? Oh, CRDF. We gotta look at CRDF, then we'll go right to Flare. We'll look at these two real quick. Well, let me let's take a look at the index funds weekly closes, because they just closed weekly. So you want to? I mean, like, it's probably bullcrap, but I'm just saying that is a very real Japanese candlestick pattern. I've asked y'all a million times when these things pop up. Normally I get like 2 answers from y'all. Someone want to tell me what Japanese candlestick pattern this is that was just confirmed on the weekly? The weekly with a W chat. That is pretty cool. Okay, we got some answers coming in. A lot of good answers. And the first of them was Tradeaman. Tradeaman, you are correct. And first and fastest. The Tradeaman knows his Japanese candlesticks. Echo Leaf also knows Koina. Was correct. I went for a walk today. That's right. Piercing line reversal. Nick. Fred was saying hippie in the chat. No, sorry, that's not right. Chip Flipper. Yep. Renaissance Man, you got it, dude. Y'all know. Learn your Japanese candles. Learn your chart patterns. Okay, they're fun. You know what? When I started like 15 years ago in this world, learning about it, the first thing, the thing that got me into all of this was Japanese candlesticks. Bullish engulfing candle, bullish harami, dark cloud cover. But right here, piercing line reversal candle. You need follow through. We need a higher close next week than this week's close, but that is a very real pattern, and it will be interesting to see what happens in the volume signature. We have not seen volume this high on the spider since January of 2022. So we're talking this week we had over 3-year highs on volume. Of course, right? Duh. Like no duh. But okay. Well, you're onto something here. Starts with a candle. Let's hope. Another piercing line reversal in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Yep, we pierced through 50% of the previous candle's body. Excuse me. That's it. So the key characteristic, what makes it a piercing line, is first off, it's 2 Japanese candlesticks, 1 red candle on downtrend or an impulse down, and then you open lower, right? We open lower than the previous candle's close. That's mandatory to make it a piercing line, and then we have to pierce through at least 50% of the previous candle's body. We did that even more, right? 65% of the way, or 70% pierced. So beautiful. They didn't even test the 200-week moving average, so maybe they're going to come down and do that. But it's just cool to see that candle. Cool. NASDAQ, maybe the same thing, right? Same thing? Same thing. Even stronger piercing line. This pierced through 100% of the previous candle's body. So the strongest of the piercing lines right here. If at the highs of the week we closed, it would have been engulfing. You'd have been covering the previous candle's body. Excuse me. Wow. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. Yep, we got a chance here, man. Okay. Orange they were. Japanese. High IQ
Anonymous
for sure.
tipped $27.77. Big Time was listed on Binance today. Big Pep.
Well, hey man, remember we discussed on the weekly, hey, you're above that level, there is tremendous upside. Below the level, you don't want to own it. Did it fall below the level? I don't think so. But people were like talking crap yesterday, like in the chat, like, why are we looking at Big Time? Can't believe we're looking at this crap. And it's like, someone requested it, they spent money on it. I wouldn't be looking at it if they didn't. But when we looked at it, holy crap. On the weekly, there was an argument to be made for risk management, if anything. So we'll look at it, Anonymous. Thank you, dude. Okay, so I don't really care about IWM that much. Not that interested. But it pierced, yeah, kind of piercing line stuff here too. Wow, at sports. Okay. Let me just let the Bogdanovs know. Crossing fingers. What? Oh, fingers crossed. Okay, that's nice. All right. So yeah, let's knock these requests out real quick. Here are your futures. Stock market futures. We have another hour to go till it closes, but I do like S&P futures above 5284, Dow Jones above 40K, Nasdaq above 18,420. Okay. I'm down with it, man. I'm down. Look, 1, 2, 3. Maybe a classic accumulation structure on the 60-minute. It's visible on the 4-hour. You can literally see 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, you actually have structure here. We didn't have structure, right? We had the bear flag. That was the last structure we had, right? And then from there, the markdown. The markdown concluded, and now we've had, a week of structures developing. And it's not the worst thing in the world. That's not too bad. Okay. I mean, at least for some more upside. I'm not saying all-time highs. I'm not even saying we're going to even capture prices above 21K. I'm just saying, like, this, you could go higher off of this. But actually, if we're identifying it appropriately, properly, right? I mean, here's the lowest low. Here's a slightly higher low. More than before, and it's stupidly subtle. And then all of a sudden, it's another higher low. You give me the third valley. I'm down. Okay. Cardiff Oncology. Oof. Oof. Oh, God. Dumpster fire, man. Well, first off, out the gate, they never, ever make money. Every quarter, Cardiff Oncology, they have to report by law. And every quarter, they come out and they say, hello, everyone. We lost money. Lots of money. Sometimes we lost more money than it was projected for us to lose. Sometimes we lost less money, but we always lose money. Not a good start, right, when you're analyzing a fresh asset. I mean, if you care about that, okay? But then the technicals kind of line up with it never makes money, okay? Never makes money, always gets destroyed, always crashes, always makes lower lows. Got it. Flat lines because, yeah, they're finally out of people to sell, I guess. But in such an eternal bear trend like this, I wouldn't be interested in this asset at all. You can clearly see that there was a nice little short squeeze they had, but here's a high back below the 200-week moving average. Here's a lower high. There's already distribution being reconfirmed on the weekly, and you just rolled over and had your lowest weekly candle close since December. I wouldn't touch this. $1 is probably on deck again, just being real. Okay, $1. Little zone down there. yeah, I would probably wait for $1.29. It doesn't look good. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. What were you asking, Tony, though, about it? I would just not own it and then probably put my money in Bitcoin or something, or a stock that makes money, that has an eternal uptrend, higher highs, higher lows forever, for 60 years. I'm more inclined to put my hard-earned money in that than this, despite what this does next. Thanks again, Tony, man. Okay. The next request was Flare for JDinks. Thanks, dude. That's your XRP like utility token. Yep. Oh my God, man. It's hard to believe. Can't believe they're doing it. Look at the weekly. This is unbelievable. And it was like, you're so screwed at the end of last week, breaking supports, and then this week what'd they do? It wasn't about the breakdown, it was about the follow through. You couldn't even say the word follow through before they recaptured the support back from 2023, 2024, and now you're working on a bullish engulfing candle, and you can clearly see it's like a type 2 return of this mega sized bullish bat Gartley. Okay, it's like an 886 Gartley. So type 1, possibly type 2. This could be a signal candle. It could be. That's wild. Okay, that really is incredible. These are your lowest risk situations. These are your highest probability outcome situations. They just are. M shape's complete. Type 1 reaction. It didn't really react, did it? It didn't react till the election. And then possibly beginning of reversal. Reaction, reversal. Let's flip it around, though. It should have been reaction, reversal, not reversal, reaction. Good God. Yeah, I mean, dude, you are in good shape on FLR above 1.3 cents. Okay, 1.3 cents is your cutoff. Below that, I don't think you want to own it. But above it, you're in good shape. And there is a lot of upside potential IMO. Okay, you're just going by the harmonic framework. It's a set of rules and guidelines that were painted, and they don't change ever. And we're just looking at that framework that is right now occurring. And you just happen to be at the basement, the best entry levels. It's wild. It really is. I can't even believe what I'm looking at. Okay. Sweet. What was it? Did you say something about it? TA respected. There you go, man. Oh, he wants Kraken. Does it matter? Does it really matter? JDinks. Because I don't think like we're gonna look at the Kraken chart and it's gonna be different than this, right? I mean, levels in the sand. Let me know. Say something. If you really need me to go there, I will. But I think the point gets across on this chart. That's right. Good in my. Can devs do something? Yeah, right now. It's like I want them to do something, and then I want it to be like.
Every day I'm checking price, and it's rising. Check price, good price. I have underinvested by a lot.
Oh, I didn't expect that one, did you? Okay, big time. It was gonna be a big time, man. We were gonna play video games, and it was gonna be decentralized, and we were gonna make a bunch of money, and then we got listed on Coinbase. What was the one Bybit, I think, was the one we were looking at on the request, maybe? Or BitGet. Yeah, I think BitGet. Yep. There you go. Up 17.5%. But all we said, right, was yesterday, after looking at it, if you recapture 5.6 cents, you got a way to construct a trading plan. You just do. And it's like just happened to be crazy today. It's up 32.7% on the new week. And with the unlimited upside. Upside's crazy. It's wild upside potential. I would say minimum like 15 cents to be conservative. Some candle closes from the 2023, 2024.
Please take a look at VBX on the weekly. Thank you, dude.
So Ryan, thank you for watching and thanks for the support, man. Yeah, dude. Slightly lower low. Hopefully VVX looks like this or something. But divergence, about to show positive momentum again. There is a lot of upside, and you could say last week's candle at this point was like some sort of inverted hammer reversal candle engulfing before that in March. Anything above 5.6 cents though, green light. Below it, red light. You're above it, so great. Melody, my view on Ethereum, not good. Like you can't. It's not catching bids the way other assets are catching bids. It's pretty bad. You want to see thoughts? My thoughts on Ethereum can be articulated by looking at one chart, and it's this one. Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. Look at this thing. It's like there's no one's buying. Look at this. Week after week, the lowest week in years. As I'm speaking to you, Ethereum paired against Bitcoin is at multi-year lows right effing now.
Look here. Look, listen.
So going for the lowest weekly candle close since January 6, 2020. Oh, that was a crazy day, man. Oh my God. What a joke. Yeah, it's about to be riots and people walking and doors opening, you know, for Ethereum soon too. So a lot of downside here. You've just lost support. Let me just make this visible only in the daily so you can see. Like you're going to come down. There is lower to go. Like it's definitely going to 1.7 million Satoshis. So they're still about, from where it is right now, they're still about another like 8% all the way to like 13% downside just to go test the 19 and 20 lows. And then below that, it's just, it could be going to all-time lows, man, at this rate. This is so bad. Remember, this is the second largest crypto by market cap in the entire universe, or in the entire solar system, at least. There's probably bigger scam coins in the Andromeda Galaxy, I would imagine, like by a lot, right? There's probably major scams getting pulled by other civilizations way bigger than ours. Okay, so Ethmeriae, like that coin over Andromeda Galaxy, real bad, worse.
Thank you, Mitch, for all your hard work.
Orange, what's up? Orange, you glad you watched the stream? Thank you, dudes. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, wow, ugly stuff here. So that someone's like, your thoughts on Ethereum? This is all you need to know. And I think that would dictate your thoughts on Ethereum looking at this. So we're just waiting at this point. If this continues, like you're just waiting. When will we got CoinMarketCap just for the memes? I never go here. CoinMarketCap. I just want to see what it's at right now. Okay. Ethereum market cap, okay, 188 billion. Yeah, $188 billion market cap. Oh my God, Tether's at 144. Yeah, XRP one. Yeah, dude, this is, if this continues, you give it less than a year, XRP will be eclipsing Ethereum, I would think. I don't know about Tether, but yeah, man, that was a lot higher, wasn't it? Oh man, look at this. The difference, 7-day percentage change. Bitcoin is flat, okay, in 7 days. Ethereum's down 13%. Look, XRP only down about 4%. BNB down 1.5. Solana down 1.1. That should tell you everything. There's something going on behind the curtains. Composite Man is just getting the F out of Ethereum, and he's continued doing that, and there's just, when will it stop? I don't know. I saw that, Alec. Yeah, Nokia compared to Ethereum. Okay, we got a lower to go. Yeah, that means we got to go to the 800s if it's going to pull a Nokia. All right, Anonymous, thanks again for the 27 on big time. And then Ryan Burke wants to see VVX right now. Okay. What, Orange, you didn't want to see anything, man? All right, V2X Incorporated. Started on the weekly, I guess. Never been here. It's a good chart, you know. Inception, IPO in 2014. It's only been making higher highs, higher lows. Let's try to identify some levels here, you know. There's the high point. Definitely a low point. Okay, so risk management wise, very difficult, right? I mean, you want to be at inflection points to construct trading plans, to identify patterns. You just don't have it. You are in no man's land, straight up and down and up and down and up and down, right? I mean, they're trying to defend the 200-week moving average this week. That's good. We did get a bullish engulfing candle. That's very nice. It was up 3% today, 2.99%. Commercial services. V2X awarded $62 million contract for Alaska-based radar system support. Ooh, radar support. So there's probably a channel or demand line that goes back. We'll see. We're screwing around here. Wow. Whoa. Dang, man. That's really cool. Anyone see this? Okay, so anchor point 1 was the all-time low in 2016. Anchor point 2, December 2018 low. 1 and 2 give you a valid trend line. So from there, you had a valid test. Look how beautiful this was in 2022. They violated it for about a month, then recaptured, then reconfirmed its validity as support with a back test. Right? That's always anytime a support's broken, you want to see a buyer's recapture and then they reconfirm it as support. You saw that September 2022. And it was really cool to see that they didn't just, it was at the same time, it was beautiful, where they back tested the demand line, but also back tested the old highs from 2015, 2016. So, and then look what happened. We got a good rally off that. Really, since the spring back test, it took us to all-time highs eventually. So they're just defending some ancient demand line going back 9 years, and you're trading above the 200 weeks. So I guess I'm going to stop at like 41, but if that holds, they tested it 2 times. I mean, $58, $59 would be your upside potential, right back up to the 2020, 2021 peaks. But I mean, in reality, think about this asset. It's trading at the same price it was trading at 6.5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. So it's not done much. Does it pay a dividend? Hey, they make money at least. They definitely always are making money. So I'm down with an asset like this. Okay. Thanks again, Ryan. I mean, I know that's probably not telling you much, but like, again, if I'm unable to identify like certain structures, and those structures are being identified at key inflection points, right, historical significance of major reversals from history, it's very difficult. So only thing I got is some sort of demand line from 9 years ago, which is cool. They've defended it once and twice in the past few months. You had a bullish engulfing candle confirmed just now. Okay. Do I think Bitcoin 80K will hold over the weekend? Probably. Yeah, I think 80K would hold over the weekend. I don't think there's going to be any crazy moves unless they break the supply line. Then there could be a crazy move to the upside. I don't think you're going to get a violent drawdown this weekend, though. No, probably not. You're just glad to watch and learn. Orange? Okay, well, you still tip 20. So, I mean, like, if you want to look at something, just let me know. Yeah, it was what a week of full emotion, fear, uncertainty, doubt, drama. And then you look at something that you just think that it's done for. And then no, like, I'm just really, really looking at MicroStrategy right now, and I kind of can't believe it. Are they really doing this? Defending the 200-day simple moving average once and then twice. The resilience, I mean, up 10.15% today. Like, if Bitcoin breaks this supply line, MicroStrategy's breaking its supply line. And that's where this long-term uptrend could continue. It's like you figured 178 to 200. But I'm at the same time, that's how it was on the 8th of April. Bearish engulfing candle, real bad below the 200-day moving average, nasty. It was down 11.26%, but all this new price action, like, it's a valid argument idea until sellers take out probably $232. Now, I mean, they could be confirming a bottom. And look, are you kidding me? How is this happening? On the second low, about the same low on price. What is that? That's like bullish divergence. A low on price, the exact same low on price, with lower levels of negative momentum. Diverging. I can't believe it. Only after round tripping, right? Every dime that was made since the election was given back. But dang, man, 1 and 2. That November 5th election date is acting as support, and they're confirming it. And there is evidence that sellers are exhausted. And I really like to see 40, the bearish control zone threshold, be defended, right? They defended levels below that, so you're not just neutral. So like, man, there could be. It's all about this 84K level. If they break it, MicroStrategy could be time to go test 333. Remember 333, the old 2000 all-time high, March 2000, right here. We break that. It could be time for a big old 886 retrace from the all-time high, blow off top. So I can't believe it. All of a sudden, the new data's coming in that makes it look kind of good. Wow. It really is a situation of,
and then, just like that,
MicroStrategy started showing good data. Okay. Wow, man, I can't even believe it. I just can't believe this. This is crazy. I hope it's real. You know, I hope what we are witnessing is real. Bitcoin above this little supply line here could be a massive markup. Okay. So let's look at Coinbase coin. Dude, they had to pump because they had a big time, right? Yeah, dude, it pumped on the news. Not near as good looking, not even close to as good of looking as MicroStrategy, or just strategy they call it now. I mean, you know, just days ago, put in the lowest price seen since February of last year. So it was over 52-week lows on Coinbase. No forms of confirmation, but definitely looking like there might be some bullish divergence developing here at 150. So if you don't hold 150, you're dead. Like, you are done, son. You're going 114 and 83 bucks. But the good news is they did defend it for now. Okay, it has been defended and it held up. So you do not want to own Coinbase at all below 150. Above it though, you're on deck for $200+. Exhaustion's there, so you get a more like a rally. You get a big rally here, but it doesn't imply that there's more than before, any accumulation, nothing like that yet. So gotta wait. MicroStrategy far superior to Coinbase right now on the technicals. Wow. He is strategizing. Michael Saylor. Yep. All right, man. We've been live an hour and a half now. We've gone literally across the markets, right? We've looked at all the sectors of the markets. For the most part, I mean, you can't look at everything, but hour and a half stream, you know. What do you want from me, man? Yeah, thanks for the still nearly 800 people here. We got 398 likes. Can we get 420 likes for Elon, man? Yeah, we look at the Mag 7. Top to best to worst. Go with Apple up 4%. Really nice to see. They're just back up against this big $198, $200 level from 2023. So you look at the daily and you understand, well, there's just nothing here. There's no structures. How could there be? There hasn't been enough time. We've been impulsing. They're just trying to the buyer's trying to recatch their footing. Trump tweet. How about the weekly? Let's look at the weeklies on these. Not a piercing line. Not even a 50% retrace. You had to have the 50% retrace, but they did test the 200-week simple moving average on Apple for the first time since, wow, December 2018. So it's almost a sure bet. Anytime market participants are testing the 200-week simple moving average on Apple, good things happen after. And that's almost immediately what happened, right? When they opened lower than it, sold off, and then rallied off of that. So, and what's cool, and just let you know, something about Apple that's interesting, 88% retrace on the weekly. From the lowest point from April of last year to the highest high, what did we do? 88% retrace. I know that. There's a sale on Apple at 175 in the long-term uptrend. But no piercing line. What are you going to do? NVIDIA up 3%. Massive weekly bullish engulfing candle. Wow, that's great. It's a great candle. Really cool to see this 97, 94 on the weekly level defended, but a lot of work to be done, right? You're going to have to go test 130, 140. So that's a really nice weekly candle, though. And what's cool about NVIDIA is they fell into the bearish control zone, and it was the first time since October 2022. But this week, we're back out of the gutter. We made it back out. We're back to neutral, which is really, you never want to be in the bearish control zone. So NVIDIA, massive 17.62% bullish engulfing candle to close the week. Stupidly nice. Okay. For now, let's catch follow through next week. Wow. Google, what an engulfing candle at a level that it desperately needed to happen. Okay. Old all-time highs from September 2021, 2022, early 2022. You open lower, you rallied, you completely covered the previous candle. That's a bullish engulfing candle. Highest volume spike we've seen on Google on the weekly since February 2023. Maybe it turns into something. Maybe 1 and 2 held support. You could go on a good rally. There's an unfilled gap at 174, 173. Golden candle, nice. Amazon, a beautiful piercing line reversal, but still below a level that you see what they did, right? They tested it as resistance, the old all-time highs as resistance, and closed below it, but still, you catch follow through next week. We're on, man. That's a nice Japanese candlestick reversal. Piercing line, and from the previous low to high, where do we reverse? Low to high. Oh, look where it opened, chat. 88% retrace. Do we have a sale on Amazon? I hope so, man. How crazy would it be? That's all we had to do. From our August 5th carry trade lows to highs, 886s, and that's value, and then we just keep running. It would be incredible. I mean, it would be. And you could almost say it's a shark here, if that's the case. $886, man. They're Amazon. Are you kidding me, dude? No way. Hard to believe. I don't believe it yet, but let's just identify the data we were given. Piercing line, Google bullish engulfing, NVIDIA bullish engulfing, Microsoft bullish engulfing after testing supports. Really nice there, but just ran up to close right at support resistance from April and August of last year. Beautiful candle. Let's hope it catches follow through. What kind of candle? Closed up 8%. 8% candle this week. Resistance held as support. That was the first test in history of 350 being support. It was always a resistance until this week it became support. Nice. Tesla, it was down today a little bit. Bullish engulfing candle. This week's candle covered the previous candle's body. Confirmed. So bullish engulfing candle. I mean, 200 is starting to become the level where people could enter, DCA, hold, right, whatever. That was a nice correction, but you can see the level here. That's why I wanted to see Bitcoin at 73.8. We were up by 600 points. That's why I'd like to see Tesla see 205, 209, because it's like such a level where it's undeniable. If you get any sort of positive price action here, you get good rallies. So we almost did it, right? They front ran it by like $5. And then we engulfed and we closed back above the 200-week simple moving average by a few dollars. So not too bad. Okay. another Japanese candlestick pattern that would indicate possibly reversal. And here's Meta, the last of the 7. 6 of the 7, Mag 7, have painted Japanese candlestick reversals. This is a piercing line reversal, and it's cool to see buyers recapture 531 to close the week out. Hold above 530 long enough, it could be time to attempt a rally. That's what you got, man. We need a lot of work, man. A lot more data. We want follow through. But man, I'm so happy to see. Look at this, man. 7 weeks in a row. When's the last time Meta went 7 weeks in a row of red candles? Maybe here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It went 8 in 2022. And then after the 8th, what happened? The bottom was in. So it is very, very rare that you get this many red weekly candles in a row. And how perfect it would be to conclude that 7 weeks of death with a bullish reversal candle. I'm hoping all of these catch follow through next week and it's time to run and everything. All the fear, oh my God, the amount of people making calls on where we're going, what's going on. I mean, BTFO, that would be beautiful. Yeah, there's so many Nostradamuses when these things happen, and it's like, man, we need structures or candles, patterns, price action at levels. That's all we're looking for here, and we let that kind of dictate where the probability might be of where we're going next, and we still don't act like we know. Very good, boys. Very good. Wow, man, it's just something else, isn't it? Total market cap, here you are. Total hit a 1414 butterfly. Rallying still below that 200 moving average on the 4 hour, but what a start. Reaction, at least. Man, see supply line here. Oh, this one's a little more tough. It just depends on how you got it. You're like trying to break out maybe, but then someone will be like, what about this wick? But what about all these touches here? It's tough. It's tougher to gauge this. I'm not as worried about it on this chart as I am Bitcoin. I'd say you're probably not broken, but nice engulfing candle at that 1414. I mean, it pretty much hit, dude, right? 2.3 front run just a little bit, but that was X marks the spot. We got to it, right? Why is it 2.3 trillion? I'll show you. Look left, man. Old all-time high, April 2021. So, could see another rally. You just got to break resistance, man. Bitcoin is very close. Remember, let me show you real quick on, you're going to love this. I guarantee it. What is going on Bitcoin's weekly? First positive candle of like any substantial candle formation we've seen in a long time. Okay, Bitcoin working on a very real bullish engulfing candle after buyers front ran the old all-time high by $600. Trump tweet saved the day, because it was probably, you know, it was going to test if Trump didn't tweet, but he did. And so pump whenever it happened. Let's go. So covering the previous candle's body, and let's just say we got 2 days, 4 hours. So we're just hoping for, just hang tight, nothing crazy on the weekend. If it does go crazy on the weekend, we're hoping it goes up. We're hoping it doesn't roll over. All we need by Sunday is a close above $82,420, and we'll be bullish engulfing. Okay. All right, well, been a good stream. We're on Breakout Watch. It's Big Mike, man. Oh my God.
Big Mike .886 tipped $100. Late to the party. Booked as my best week of trading. Paying respect to the DA. Thank you, sir.
Big Mike, man. Thanks for the 100 and congrats on your week. Been a lot less aggressive than you, but man, that's fantastic. And I'm just hoping now, if that was your best week, we're witnessing sellers being exhausted on Bitcoin. It's just a predictable pattern. It's something we've seen a million times. We've identified these, right? These dragons, man. It's not a real dragon until we break the spine of the dragon. The spine's the supply line, this white downsloping trend line. That's the spine of the dragon. But something like old Microsoft, right? I'll give you a situation in a long-term uptrend. Let me show you right here. It was the dragon in very similar situation, your all-time highs, whatever. This dragon being on Bitcoin is being tested up here. It's being painted up here above the old all-time high where Microsoft wasn't. Man, I'm telling you, the low, the slightly lower low, forms of divergence on the slightly lower low, all around or out of support. Bitcoin front ran that that support at the second foot. But remember, we're right here right now on Bitcoin. We need to break it. We don't have to back test it, but it would be great to break it and then back test it, and then we can run. And it was the dragon, the consequences of dragons. They turn into W shapes and they can extend on. Okay, so that's what it's just, we're trying to identify a pattern that we've seen a million times. It just hasn't played out yet. And it may fail, but we're right there. Breakout watch, name the stream. Chicken Biscuit, 420. Thank you, dude.
Is that a joint?
57 more likes, we could do it. I mean, like, do y'all care about me? Do y'all love me? If you love me, we're gonna get 57 more likes like now. Like, it's gonna happen, okay? 57 more likes. We need that. We get 500 likes. We have the technology. We have the number. We have the manpower. We have the passion. We have the aptitude to get 500 likes now. This stream's been live an hour and 40 minutes. And Bitcoin's on Breakout Watch. And 6 of the 7 Mag 7 have painted bullish Japanese candlestick patterns. Potential ones, right? We got to get follow through next week, but it's a good start. It's better than nothing, man. My God, better than 7 red weeks in a row on Meta. Finally, we've stopped that. Okay, a new change the thumbnail. Oh yeah, prep the printers. Federal Reserve absolutely ready to help.
Can we take a look at Casper, please? Thank you.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you. We'll look at Casper. Yeah, it blew up trying to put in a second low. Can't believe it. Who's defending that stuff, man? Hold on. One sec. Changing thumbnail, and then we'll get ready. Prep the printers. Chat. I was saying, Federal Reserve absolutely ready to help stabilize market if needed. The Europeans did that too. They said the same thing. We're never going to run out of ammunition. Yeah, Casper, man. Still couldn't see target 1. It got close. It's crazy. Yeah, they all the lower highs, lower lows. Right? It did make a lower low. You know what? Oh my God. I think we might have... Oh my God. No way. I don't think I have it saved yet. Yeah, look at this, man. Look at this. No way. Okay, let's scale in and see this. Okay, Caspa. Target 1 of the short trade setup was this old sell wall from 2023. Why? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Caspa, here it was. It was February 23rd of this year. How weak this market looked. It was not your strongest trade setup. It was just identifying momentum, identifying failure from buyers to test 200 moving average on the time scale. Falling right there, like the weakness, man. And even on the 60-minute, you can see confirmation. It was just bad, man. And so what did they do? Finally, as of just a few days ago, what? Oh my God. Jesus chimes. Target 2 or target 1 was hit by like the cent. You gotta be kidding me. And yeah, now it's rallying. So whatever. I mean, they could just put in a lower high, whatever. It's pumping today, though. Well, yeah, go figure. It happens. Target 1 got hit. Shorts covering. Right off the target. Shorts cover. Okay, it's up 43% in 4 days. Unreal. But what? S-Coin. My God. So, yeah, rallies and maybe put in a higher high. You haven't yet. What's the most recent event? The lowest low? Same low, but technically lowest low, right? You rally, you want to make a higher high. You want to make an HH, not an LH. You don't want to just roll over this weekend and do something like this. Oh God, don't do that, man. So verdict's still out, but yeah, that's a level where people were short covering and some people were bidding at the same time. So man, how freaking close that was. And then target 2 was just like in case the world takes a turn for the worse. And it still could be valid. You rally, roll over somewhere below 9.7, and you could end up still at 3.3 cents. But not now. You're safe for now. You're okay. You're rallying. Target 1. Okay. Yeah, and again, it could be like some exhaustion. Like you definitely can see bullish divergence now. Okay, like despite it being a downtrend, right? Here's a low. Here's the lower low. Here's about the same low, slightly lower low. But it's like you can see exhaustion. It's indicated. The oscillators are implying that sellers are exhausted here. You just see it, the low, the lower low, the lowest low, same low. They're all higher, and then the same thing on the oscillators. You're just continuing to diverge. So eventually, you resolve with a bigger impulse upward and squeeze the living crap out of shorts. So that's where you got going on. You're in a downtrend. You kind of hit a support looking left, right? And it's bouncing off that. And it could just be because finally sellers are tired. Sellers are real tired. And Bitcoin, thankfully, has kind of a similar situation going on with a low, slightly lower low. And we're just hoping that this divergence can manifest into a supply line break. And we're just still right at it. You can see how close we are on the 4 hour. You're flirting with it. Breaking it? No, I don't know. Close, man. It's very close. Whew. Okay, did we get the 500 likes that we required? We did 524 likes. Man, y'all overshot it by a lot. Holy crap! Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate each and every one of you watching right now. It's just midday for some people on the West Coast, and the stock market's closed, and I just wanted to be live for some of the action. Wanted to assess size up kind of what we're looking at for next week, and it's not that bad, right? We're just hoping that no weird tweets, no escalation, which is very possible, could be probable. But man, if they just let these Japanese candlestick patterns play out, we could very well be going higher. They're implying higher, at least in the short term, right? You get a piercing line reversal, bullish engulfing candle on some of these Mag 7s and they catch fall through, that's higher. Comp looking good. I don't even, good for a level, I guess, but like they're definitely trying to hold on to this little zone here. It's just pathetic. I mean, it's up 4.2%. Easy to manage risk, I guess. I don't think you want to own it below $36, $35.77. This is going to like 26, 29, but yeah, maybe there's a lot of upside if it holds, like for sure. Like I'm gonna show you real quick. Like you can clearly see all these different levels and times here held. I mean, yeah, it could be managed. Like that would be your upside, is where the wicks went really. But yeah, okay, so I just was talking about comp and chat, so I looked at it real quick. Okay. Wow. Do I see another leg down before 80K pump? Oh, I have no idea. Like, I don't see it. Like, I see that we just made another leg down. This was the other leg down. Here's a leg down. Here's the next leg down. And then engulfing candle and another bullish engulfing candle. And I'm, you know, again, what you would be looking for is a breakout and then some sort of back test. And then whenever the back test or sell-off occurs, we end up making a higher low than this low. And then we know that buyers are reassuming control of the asset because we haven't made a higher high or a higher low in almost 3 months. 3 months. Okay, so we need a higher low. We give me a higher low, momentum shift. Give me a higher low than a higher high, potential trend reversal. So there are definitive things on this chart that need to happen. And when they do, we can start saying, hey, by the book, the trend's reversing, momentum shifting, accumulation structure. We don't have any of those yet, but we have a potential dragon which is, again, a complete exhaustion situation. Sellers are tired, man. Sellers, they can't. They tried once. They tried again. They're tired, man. And these oscillators are implying it. It's saying, yep, exhaustion. Impending price action reverse the upsides implied on the MACD histogram and kind of the RSI. Yeah, RSI, here's a low on price. Here's the lower low on price. See the low on price here? That's where the wick is on the RSI. And then you have a low here. So it's almost like 1, 2, 3. It's almost like triple divergence. You could almost say like this low and this low. Yep, triple divergence on the RSI and MACD. So it's implied that this breakout is more probable than not because you have the oscillators behind you. Okay. To the extent of how high we break, that's going to be tough, right? Because you want a higher low at some point.
Just for flips and giggles, can you look at Altcoin on any exchange? While Y5 incoming.
Claudia, thanks, dude. Fartcoin, sure, dude. Any exchange? Wow, thank you so much, dude. Fartcoin. Here, we're putting this in the strategic reserves. I don't know. Tether? Mex? Fartcoin? Yeah, Fartcoin. Wow, unbelievable. Unreal. I can't believe this. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh my God, dude. 2 days ago, up 49%. Yesterday, bullish back test of the breakout. Today, follow through, up 22%. Highest price we've seen on Fartcoin since beginning of February. Nothing here till candle close at 109. Like that's your target. It'll probably be there today, tomorrow, whatever. Right there, that candle close. Yeah, it's gonna be a zone, right? Candle close. Yeah, 110 to 120 on deck. Unreal. I don't know what to say. It's Fartcoin, big time. Fartcoin, B-Chain, XRP, dude. Like if you're above 190, 196, you can construct a trading plan, and your trading plan is because of the spring, back test of spring, and the Valley bullish engulfing candle. That's how you could trade it. You could literally just be like, okay, this new data here is possessing me to say, all right, this. I mean, simply, like, what is it, 3.67 to 1, right? Your stop's below the inflection zone that was recaptured, reconfirmed, and you're just letting it run, 260. And if you get stopped out, you're most likely this asset's completely effed. Because if you're getting stopped out in this situation after a successful bullish back test, you're falling back below supports. There becomes a reason to not own XRP if you're getting stopped out at 188 now. But if you never get stopped out, your upside's crazy. I mean, what's the upside on XRP if this actually is holding? 27 to 30%, all the way up to maybe 34% upside. It is what it is, man. Like, this is new data. This is real TA. This is real traditional technical analysis, right? 3 days ago, the data presenting itself was very bad. But then the bullish engulfing candle came in and changed everything. Because when you're at inflection points like this, you're going day by day. You just don't know. It's just so similar to something like back in 2021, man. It's over. You're screwed. But then one piece of data comes in, and it happens to be at a key level, like this one mega support in 2021. The candle was confirmed below all supports, really, the inflection zone. It was done. But then what? One green candle changed everything. It was bearish. It's not good. If we get follow through, we're screwed. And before you could even say any of that, buyers recaptured the level. And then where do we go? We ran straight to the top of the range, spent some time consolidating, then we broke it. And then we ran to all-time highs after that eventually. Topped out in November 2021. So I'm just saying, right? It is day by day when price is correlating to key levels. It can look so bad, but if there's no follow-through and there are bullish reversal candles at these key levels, you do want to be paying attention, and your entire argument can change. And that is very well what could be happening on XRP if this favorable price action continues above 190 to 196. Okay? Just making sure you understand. Data dictates. Whew, okay. So I think that's been live now almost 2 hours. We're still on Breakout Watch. Everyone out here needs to have an alert set up around 84.3, 84.2. You hearing the beep, you're breaking out. And so you just want to be monitoring this throughout the weekend into the new week. You know, I'll be here Sunday for the weekly candle close anyway. You know, this is where we congregate traditionally to witness it together. But yeah, there is hopium to smoke on because we finally have a potential bullish dragon on Breakout Watch with seller exhaustion applied on the oscillators. That's what we got for now. Things can change, and if they do, I'll do my best to be the first one to tell you. All right. So thanks to everyone for coming out. Big Mike, thanks for that session top. Jesus, Claudio, Chicken Biscuit, Orange, again, Big Mike, Ryan Burke, Anonymous, Jadinks, Jimmy, Tony F, Andrew 3. Thanks so much for the contributions to this 100% crowdsourced community. Remember, so I don't monetize. I don't push affiliate marketing links down your throat. I've never had a sponsor. You see any logos of scams or services? You ever seen it? You ever watched an ad? Watch them? No, you haven't. So appreciate those that contribute voluntarily to the stream, because that's the only type of contributions I've ever gotten, the voluntary ones. So thank you for coming out. Join the Discord if you haven't. The link to join the Discord, it's free, is pinned in the chat above. I'll see you in there. Till next time, respect the TA.